Welcome everyone. We're so excited to see all you all here today. My name is Bora Lachi and I am with Impactionable. I'm the project manager. So before we begin, we're so excited to have everyone here. So again, my name is Bora, project manager. We're so excited to hear from the finalists. We're excited that everyone is joining us here on Zoom and also everyone who's joining us from all over. We have our finalists from all over today. So we're really thrilled, and I'm going to turn it over to our CEO, Shivani, to kick off our social innovation competition.
Thank you so much. And am I on mute? No, I'm not. Great. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. I am Shivani Choksi, the CEO of Impactionable. Before we get started, Bora, do you mind moving on to the next slide? There's a situation going on in Ukraine right now, and actually, Bora, I'm sorry, I think we had the wrong presentation. Let me download a new version and just share my screen really quickly. But basically, we have a situation going on in Ukraine right now. I wanted to take a moment of silence just to send thoughts, send positive vibes to the people in Ukraine as they're navigating this situation. So if we can take 1 minute of silence and send positive vibes, that would be great. Thank you. I'll share my screen shortly. Great, thank you so much. So let's start the program. Like I said, I'm Shivani, I'm the CEO of Impactionable, and I'm very excited about today. As Bora can attest, planning and preparing for this finals event from start to finish was 3 months in the making. But these finals mean more than just an event. They celebrate the impact social entrepreneurs make in their local communities and the planet. And today we celebrate the pure talent that comes from places like Botswana, Uganda, Nigeria, South Africa, just to name a few. The finalist impact is palpable, and from what you will see from these presentations, my hope is that they will inspire you to take action for your community and the planet alike. So I wanted to rewind just a little bit and showcase why we host competitions in the first place. So back when we launched Impactionable, we knew we were stepping into a relatively new space. Not many people knew about social entrepreneurship and the way creating sustainable businesses can positively impact the world. It was sort of serendipitous, as all beautiful things are, when my co-founder Sukanya and I connected with Because International's founder, Kenton Lee. He had a vision for Because International that built off of his own invention, the shoe that grows. For context, years back, Kenton created a shoe that grows 5 sizes, so people in impoverished communities don't have to buy 5 separate pairs of shoes. So even after bringing this amazing invention to life, Kenton did not want to stop at creating shoes. He also wanted to create opportunities for others. So we got to talking and we found that our visions really aligned. We both wanted to create opportunities so that anyone and everyone from around the world can showcase their talent and make a positive impact in the world. So for both of our organizations, the most important part was starting. And as some entrepreneurs on this call can attest, sometimes starting is the hardest part of the journey. So we're here 3 years later. This is our 5th competition and our 4th time partnering with Because International. Winners and semifinalists from previous competitions have gone on to patent their ideas, ramp up production, participate in Because International's accelerator program, receive increased media exposure, even receive mentorship from our joint communities. I wanted to take this time and showcase some of our past winners. So the first year that we launched, an entrepreneur based out in Sierra Leone built a trash bin made out of recycled car tires to combat littering in her town. Our winner in 2020, Farah Bernache, she created the Uber of Wi-Fi, where people could attach a pod on the back of their phones, which would ultimately make them a hotspot for Wi-Fi connection. This would not only give them access to the World Wide Web, but also give access to others who are located in their close proximity, give them access to the internet as well. This was especially helpful for those situated in rural communities. Our winners in March 2021, Neha Ahmed and Vedika Murarka, created Educase, a backpack that could convert into a desk for children in Nepal and Pakistan. And our last winner in October 2021 was Christian from EcoAct Tanzania, who used energy conserving plastic extrusion technology to recycle and transform post-consumer waste plastics, packaging materials, and agricultural waste into durable and environmentally friendly lumber. So safe to say, from the talent that we've seen in the past, we're all very excited to see the finalists present today, as they have started and grown in their own respective sectors. I also want to take a moment and celebrate our semifinalists, some of whom are on this call, who have also started and changed lives in their communities. It's important to recognize that such talent in this world that we often don't see in the news or even around us in our daily lives, it deserves to be recognized. Again, this wouldn't have been possible with without the support of our sponsor, Because International, as well as our judges who are with us from start to finish. I especially want to give a shout out to Sarah Hill from Because International and Teresa Brodus, I hope I'm saying that right, from HP for coordinating all of the judges. This took a village from start to finish, and we have the best village around. And finally, I want to give a big congratulations to all of the participants in this competition. I know that we all want to see who wins, but if we really do zoom out, what matters most is that all have started doing good for those around us. All that matters is that everyone who participated in this competition has started somewhere. And all that matters is that the world is a better place because people started thinking about their communities, the planet, and what is their own place in both. So good luck to the finalists today. Good luck to the semifinalists and the applicants and continuing on their journeys. Congratulations, and we cannot wait to see what you do next. Thank you.
Thank you, Shivani. So before we begin, I just want to talk about the format of the program and what's going to happen throughout the rest of the afternoon. So each finalist will have 5 minutes to pitch. After 5 minutes, the judges will have a Q&A with them for another 5 minutes. The judges will deliberate. We'll hear from some other partners who are in the audience right now, and then we'll also showcase some of our past winners to see what they're doing. And then the judges will come back after they discuss who's gonna win today, and then we'll announce our winner at around 7:15. So before we begin and we start off with our first finalist, I would like to introduce our judges, and they can give you a little bit of background about them. So the first one is Sarah from Because International. So Sarah, if you want to unmute your mic and tell us a little bit about your background.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I've been working with Because International for a few years now, and started working in the program of the Shoe That Grows, and just a couple years ago switched over to the accelerator. So I'm the accelerator manager, and I do a little bit of start to finish, working with entrepreneurs to recruit them and interview them as part of the program, help facilitate things within the program, and then help track impact beyond the program in the ways we provide post-cohort support.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sarah. Next up, Andrew, who is the president and CEO of Because International.
Yes, hello. Located here in Idaho with Sarah in America, and we are both really looking forward to this. Like you said, serve as president of Because International. I've really been a part of the organization, man, 15 years in a way. Shivani mentioned Kenton. We've been childhood best friends our whole lives, and was part of the idea of it. And then as the organization became a reality, and then over the last few years, work with the Shoe That Grows still in certain ways, but very closely with our accelerator program, which I particularly enjoy.
Thank you so much, Andrew. And our final judge is Kelsey from Marquette University, Associate Director.
Thank you again for having me back as a judge. I absolutely love this competition and all of the different voices we get to hear. I'm Kelsey Otero. I run the Innovation Center at Marquette University. I oversee our social innovation programming and our entrepreneurship programming and all of our community outreach with entrepreneurship in the neighborhood where Marquette is.
Thank you so much, Kelsey. So these are our great judges, and now we are ready to hear from our finalists. So our first finalist is Project Go. So Project Go, we are ready for you.
Thank you very much. My name is Sizo Mavuso. I represent a company called IMA, which is based in South Africa. Thank you so much for making time to go through my presentation. And I'm just going to give you a little background of where this whole thing started. So my background is architecture and design, and I get the privilege of actually working in the remote areas of our countries. So this particular school is very special to me because I worked in a construction site as a project manager. And part of my challenges there was getting water into my site so that we can do some building works. So unfortunately, there was no water whatsoever at that particular site. So we had to pay a water taker to come to our site and deliver the water so that we can use it for our work. So this was relatively easy. We pay them some cash, they'll come over and deliver some water. But unfortunately, the community around used that water for their own consumption as well, because that's what they depended on. There was no water around. And this sort of affected our timelines because we had to share. And it didn't make any sense that it was raining, but people were not salvaging or harvesting any rainwater. And in my final conclusion, my research, I concluded to the fact that unfortunately, the water technologies are very non-affordable. So I took a big problem and I made it small. So I conceptualized a water tank which is compatible, affordable, and you can build it if and when you've got money. So accessibility is the most important thing. So this is what I conceptualized. So what you're looking at is a 25-liter tank. You put it together like a Lego puzzle and you can make a compound tank. So you can harvest rainwater and use that for your own consumption. But most importantly, and what separates us from our competitors is we're looking at harvesting gray water. So repurpose the water that you just have because it still has value. So this is the concept that I've actually built. So what is our mission? Basically, we want to take water. We have a relatively sophisticated country. We've got water reticulation and so forth, but unfortunately, the water problem still persists. So we'd like to make the problem affordable, make water accessibility more affordable, and remove the government from it. And why we do such is because there's a drive now to actually grow the small markets instead of looking at the governments to actually provide a solution to our problems. So what traction have I accomplished to this point? I've been able to raise some development grant funding to value of 1.3 million, a sales pipeline of about 9 million. We've done a small pilot that's our first prototype that we did in 2018. And we've worked with different organizations to sort of build our technology and our business case. So what's the market size? In South Africa in 2020, in 2020, the market size was about 5.8 billion. And our serviceable available market to us, and we got this number because of our production output is just over $10 million US. What separates us from our competitors is we want to build a product which is brings down the costs, which is easily accessible, and we everywhere across the world we're having some power shortages. So we want something which is relatively it's off the grid. Who's my team? My team, I'm the founder, and then I've got a colleague who's a project coordinator by the name of Toli. So it's just the two of us. And then, but most of our support has been outsourced to other engineering companies and so forth. And then we've got some manufacturing partners. So what's my ask? We're doing a pilot now with the city of Tshwane, the third largest city in South Africa. We'd like to do a sample of 1,000 houses to a cost of about just under 10 million rand, just over 10 million rand, to do a small pilot. The impact is we'll create about 15 jobs in-house. We'll recruit some artisans, we'll give them some training, some tools to actually do the distribution and installation of our product. And the return on investment is hopefully we'll cut down, say about 20–30% of the water usage. And the return on investment in about 3 years is more or less, it's just under $1 million US. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, judges. I now turn it over to you.
Yeah, I can jump in with a first question. Thanks so much. A quick clarifying question on the product, the competition. There are some existing solutions out there. You had a slide with some competitors. Talk a little bit more about specifically your competitive edge. Is it more of a price play? Are you looking to provide a cheaper alternative to the existing solution, or is it some brand new features, brand new functionality?
I hate to say this, but it's sort of almost all of the above. It's easy access to water. So you want to take the burden away from the government to actually deliver water to people. And so it's compact in size. So the tank is about 25 liters in size. So it's easy to ship, to move around, to ship around, because the problem with water tanks is they're very large. So you're transporting an empty space. So there's a cost associated to that. So whereas people here travel in taxis, you buy two, you put them on your lap, you get onto a taxi, you go home, you're doing installation. By the end of the year, you can compete with a larger tank. So accessibility is extremely important. Is there anything else I'm missing in your? And with regards to our competitors as well, most of them are just focused on rainwater. Now, as you can see throughout the world, the rain is not very consistent. So we have to repurpose the water that we already have. So that's what gives us the edge over our competitors. Our focus is with repurposing gray water. So you take your shower, your bath water, repurpose that to flush down your toilets, which just takes about 30% of your water usage, you know? So instead of flushing your toilet with fresh water, rather repurpose.
And then clarify a piece of that, because it does seem like compared to a conventional tank, your design is most unique in the sense that it comes in these smaller units, these building blocks where you can more easily transport it, as well as build whatever size tank you need. Is that accurate?
That's correct. That's correct.
Thank you.
And it's a psychological shift. You lower the barrier of entry, and then you give people the impression that they can actually start and build something, because we get overwhelmed with the price factor of starting.
So I want to pick up that thread a little bit. Thank you, Project Go. I love the design, and you talked about the accessibility in terms of access and price point. Can you dig a little bit more into how much this costs you all to manufacture and create one water tank, and how much you sell it to your consumers for?
Okay, I'm just gonna run sorry about this. I have to convert it to a dollar so that you understand it. Okay, so I'm just gonna do it on top of my head. So the rand to dollar exchange is about $1.15 rand. So the cost to us is more or less about just under 2,000 rand, and then we put a markup of about 33%. So so we sell it at about a cost of just under 3,000 Rand.
Thank you.
So this consists of the tank system, but you can buy everything separately. But I'm just talking about a complete system. You could there's a tank system. There's some fittings in there. It includes the fitting into the house. There's a pump there. There's a sand filter, yeah, and there's a little solar sort of battery package so that it's off the grid. Are we good?
We have time for one quick question if someone wants to throw it in there. We got 30 seconds.
Okay, I just wanted to ask a clarifying question really quick of who's then your target market if you're bringing water into these communities? Who are the ones actually doing the purchasing? Are they for individuals, or will they be government or other organizations funding your product?
We're looking at organizations because they buy in bulk, but that process to get a sale is quite lengthy. But we will go directly to our market, and it's very important that we establish a relationship with them. So our target market is people who are earning low income, who are partly subsidized by the government. Like for instance, now this community that I'm working with will be subsidized by a municipality and the AU. So that's what more or less we're looking at.
Thank you so much. So judges, I'll give you about a minute or just quick 30 seconds to a minute to go through everything. Project Go, really appreciate it. If you can stop sharing your screen, because next up is Ina Lite. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
So before we begin, judges, are y'all ready? Y'all need a few more minutes? Okay, we're ready, so take it away.
Good day, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, you're good.
All right. Good everyone. I'm Obasagi. I'm a director at Dynamics Cognito, and our project here is called the InnoVibe. So basically, InnoVibe is a clean cooking, charging, and lighting solution we're developing in Nigeria, specifically in Rivers State in Nigeria. And the project is basically to address the current issues we have with pollution in our city due to the practices of like exploitation of like oil and all of that, bad practices in refining crude oil. So I'm interested to know that we still have over 90 million Nigerians that lack access to the electricity grid. We have about 180 million Nigerians that lack access to clean cooking products. This energy poverty has led to unsustainable and unhealthy cooking and lighting practices in our country. What we're doing about this is we're designing energy products for clean cooking, charging, and lighting in Nigeria. And we're trying to put in alternatives to the current products they use, or options they have, which currently is firewood, charcoal, and some other unsustainable sources of energy. We're trying to kind of make them make a switch to more cleaner sources of power, like LPG. And currently we're also pushing for the idea of solar power. Our mission is in line with the 7 sustainability goal for the SDG, and it's basically to produce clean and affordable electricity for the millions that lack this in Africa. So our product InnoVibe, like we said, is an all-inclusive cooking, charging, and lighting product. Basically, how it works is it's a gas cooker that has a thermoelectric generator, which converts some part of the heat to electricity. So this heat could be used to charge things like mobile devices and other smaller devices. That way you have a product that gives you 3 functions on one. Our model is simply just a B2C manufacturing model, and we generate revenue by selling off our products. So what we've achieved so far is we have done a couple of surveys in communities. We've also launched prototypes in some communities, like one in Owising, which is in Kwara State. We're currently working on a project right now in Rivers State, the community in Rivers State. And we have received a couple of awards, both locally and internationally, about 7 awards. But for our ability to kind of like present our project at TEDx. We have had support from Learning Foundation, recently from Suzuki Foundation and some other foundations. The markets we're addressing is generally there's the global renewable energy market, which is about 181 billion as of 2021. And it's increasing at a steady rate of about 8.4% annually. If we're to target the over 165 million street food vendors in Africa alone, we're sure to have a market share of about $1.8 billion just by selling renewable energy products. Now, like I've said earlier, most our primary targets are the street food vendors and restaurants because they are the ones that really use more of the cooking products. And then finally, households and homes. Then our major competitors in our markets in Nigeria are Lumos, Gravity Lite, and BioLite. Lumos is the major competitor. They use solar power to generate electricity. We have BioLite. BioLite is kind of like an emerging competitor, but the problem with them is that most of their products are quite expensive. And then Gravity Lite doesn't really produce as much power. So what we're doing, what makes us unique is the fact that you have a product that gives you not just power, but you can actually cook from it. So it's kind of like we said, we have a 3-in-1 product. So we're addressing a specific part of the whole market. Across us, we have a team of engineers, business people. We have me, Obasagi, I'm the head, and financial analyst is Anastasia. We have a marketing strategist, Sandra, and our product designer, Sasu. So together, we've been working on this for some time now and making all of this impact. Currently, we're trying to raise funding, about $20,000 as we're kind of in the seed round now. And we're trying to raise this to acquire a business site for storage of our products that will be producing. We're trying to produce about 100 units. This will help us to expand our business and reach out to more users. So I want to say a big thank you again for this opportunity, and really hope that by your support, we shall truly be a light in our world. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Judges, I now turn over to you. You have 5 minutes.
I'll start this time. What kind of traction have you seen? How many products have you sold, especially over the last couple of months, or when did you first start selling your product?
Yeah, so currently we haven't sold any products, but we have just launched free products to test. So we go to a community and more or less deploy it for use. So like I said, we've done one in Kwara State. We're currently working on one right now in the River State. But the idea is to actually sell the products. But for now, it's what we feel is more important first is actually to show the proof of concept and to show that it's actually something that is impactful. So that's why our initial product concentration has been to just deploy the product first of all for people to use.
I might jump into a kind of a similar question that I asked prior. When it comes to your the stove, the burner, and your target market, are a lot of them already primarily using burners, stoves that are using the gas that powers yours? Are they using other forms of cooking that aren't as clean, and the idea is to convert them over to the clean, a clean cooking alternative? Or if they're already using a burner, what's going to cause them to switch over to yours? Is it the charging station primarily? Talk a little bit more about how you differentiate and how you feel like you're going to be able to win customers.
Yeah, so the thing is, most of them use options like firewood, charcoal, so many other options to cook. The problem with all of those options is they don't have the ability to generate kind of electricity for that. So basically what they could get from that is just heating. But all of them in all of these situations, they still need electricity. So the idea is to make them to have a switch to more cleaner sources of power, like you said, like LPG or solar. And the incentive is to have a product that they could use to cook and at the same time generate some power. As regards to what they currently have, which is just for cooking and which is just using the firewood and charcoal. So basically it's just having a product that gives you more than one function and it's cleaner than the current option.
What does the next year look like for you guys? What's your roadmap of next steps for growth?
Yeah, so for now, currently we just got some support from Lexus, and we're working on like we said, the use of solar. So for us, solar is actually more it's more cleaner because you don't have to burn anything. So what I've been really focusing on now is making like low-powered cooking stoves with Lexus. That's basically what we're working on at the moment. Low-power electric cooking burners. Low-power electric cookers that are powered by solar, and at the same time you could generate electricity from it. So it's like we still going to achieve the three aims that we have, which is cooking, charging, and lighting, but not necessarily from burning of fossil fuels. So that's currently what we're working on.
My name is Pasian Bara.
Hello?
Where do consumers that are purchasing your product, where do they go to get it? And how are they hearing about you and the work that you're up to? What's the plan with that?
Yeah, so the thing is, what's cool about it is that we're actually right here in Nigeria and we live like in the communities. So it's basically as simple as like we said, what I've been working on mainly has been going to those communities and deploying the project, or deploying like for them to test, use it, and actually see how it's done. So actually in touch with the people that need the products, and like I said, most of them are like street food vendors, restaurants, like regular people you see around. So having access to them is not a problem at all. We're actually constantly in touch with them, and what we've been working on basically is finding what's like the perfect product for their needs, and that's it basically.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Lite. We really appreciate it. So judges, I'll give you a couple 30 seconds to a minute, and then Valley, please be ready to share your screen. You can start sharing, and then I'll ask the judges when they're ready.
Okay, I'm from Valley B, and thank you for having me. Do you know that honeybee population have declined from 6 million hives in the 1940s to less than 2.4 million hives in recent years? This is due to commercial honeybee keepers going out of business and retiring. And this has actually affected a lot of people around the world and actually left the African bee markets grossly untapped. I present to you Valley Bee, a beekeeping company using innovative technology to increase productivity and impact communities and the environment. To achieve this, we created Valley Hive. Valley Hive is an eco-friendly and affordable beehive made from recycled plastics and wood, designed specifically to mimic nature. The innovation behind Valley Hive is that it can be fitted with sensors to monitor bee health and bee activities in general. Valley Hive is very eco-friendly and is very affordable for local smallholder farmers. Our hive costs $25 which is 70% cheaper than the hive in the markets today. We also make Valley honey, which is pure and organic. Over the years, we've extracted 5,000 liters of our honey, and we've extracted and sold over 5,000 liters of our honey to the market. Our honey costs $4 per liter, which is cheap and affordable to people around our communities. In the future, we plan to produce our Valley suits, which is $15 cheaper than the average bee suits in the market today. Our bee suit is made from locally sourced materials, which is also very cheap. Over the years, we've made over $5,000 from the sales of our Valley Hive and our Valley Honey. We have over 140 customers in 2 states here in Nigeria to whom we've sold our Valley Hive and our Valley Honey. In the future, we hope to sell more hives, more honey, our bee suits, and our eco-friendly smokers, which would be used to harvest honey. The global market of honey is estimated at $10 billion, and we have a very high demand of quality beehives, very high demand of quality bee suits in the market today. Our competition are the Langstroth hive, the Kenyan top bars, and our local honey. The Langstroth hive is very expensive and will not be affordable for local smallholder farmers like the ones we have in Nigeria. We have the Kenyan top bars, which is not so expensive, but is not as smart as the Valley Hive and cannot be fitted with sensors to monitor bee activity and to monitor bee health, to increase production and to increase honey production. We have our local honey, which would not be able to meet the global high demand of honey, hence a need for a smart and high producing Valley hive like ours. Over the years, we trained smallholder farmers in innovative and profitable apiculture and honey extraction. We have trained and empowered over 20 smallholder farmers here in Nigeria, and they are all doing well today. We seek mentorship to scale our business. We seek partnership for expansion. We want to expand to other states in Nigeria. We want to expand to other countries. We are in need of equity funding, equity investment of $7,500 to scale production here in Nigeria and around the world. I, as Emadago Ogenekere William, am the CEO of Valley Bee. We have Ms. Dagda Dokas, who is the Chief Operating Officer. We have Mr. Jedidiah, who is the product development, who is the head of our product development. We have Ms. Iken Salomi, who is our lead marketer. We have Mr. Emmanuel Sunday, who is our field operations officer. I want you all to know that an investment in sustainable apiculture is an investment in a sustainable planet. And I want to introduce you to our Valley Honey. This is our Valley Honey. I will take a test of it. Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, William. Judges, I turn it over to you. You have 5 minutes.
Thanks, William. I love the energy. I'll start us off with a question here. It seems like you've got quite a few different opportunities, different business models here from the hive itself, which it looks like you've got some specific ways that you've differentiated yourself with the hive. But selling the hive, selling the honey, selling bee suits, what's the primary focus? Where is the biggest opportunity for growth as you scale up revenue? What will you focus on primarily?
Okay, our primary focus is our Valley Hive. We've actually not started making our bee suits, which we plan to launch this year, but our primary focus is our bee hive, which is very innovative and which will allow the farmers produce more honey as compared to the general hives in the market today.
Thanks, William. I love the hat and the honey. It just tied it all together. Can you talk about the 140 small farmers that you've sold your hives to in the two Nigerian communities, and what impact these hives, these unique hives, have had on their farming?
Okay, we've sold our hives to over 140 customers. several of them are small and large-scale farming, apicultural farmers here in Nigeria. Most of them are doing very well today, and they've actually reported to us that they've noticed that they produce more honey as compared to when they were using the conventional beehives. So we've actually made a lot of impacts over here in Nigeria.
Would you say, William, that you are primarily targeting people that already are attempting to produce or sell honey? Or is this marketing to farmers that this would be a new product, that honey would be a new product and a potential new source of income for them?
Okay, we actually sell to both people who haven't actually practiced apiculture and those who already practice apiculture. We bring our ideas to them, we sell our hives to them to improve on their apiculture.
And then a second question too, speaking along the lines of growth within your organization, where do you see opportunities for the most opportunities for employment within your organization?
Okay, I didn't get the question, sorry.
So as you are looking to expand and grow and increase your products, where do you see opportunities for increasing the number of employees that you have within your organization?
Okay, as I said before, we have a very high demand for honey, and due to the trend that we are having today in apiculture, if we continue in that trend, we will lose a very vast amount of the bees we have in the ecosystem today. Hence, a need for a hive like ours to ramp up production, and our business will come from we selling more hives and introducing our hives to more states here in Nigeria and in the global market.
We have time for one more question, so
Yes,
who wants to take it away?
Let's jump in real quick. William, back to the hive, your product. I mean, I don't know anything about beekeeping, but I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, what have you learned about your design? Where do you need to improve it? As I look at it, you know, is it something that could tip over in the wind? Is it rainproof, waterproof? Again, I don't know anything about beekeeping, but I'm wondering what you've learned and what you may need to improve with it.
Okay, we actually fit sensors that test humidity, that actually measures humidity in the beehive, and this will actually measure this will actually tell us how the bees are faring, and actually we can actually remotely monitor the bees activities with a mobile device. So this is the innovation in our idea. You can monitor bees activities when you are actually not there. So we can fit our hives with sensors to monitor bees activity. So that is the innovation and the idea behind it.
Thank you so much, William. Judges, I'm going to give you a few minutes to do your scoring. So William, thank you. Up next, we got Botanica. So William can stop sharing your screen, and then we'll have the other finalists prepare their screen.
Hello, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are. You're good to go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Pasian Baraka, a co-founder for Botanica Repellent. Let me share with us the story. When I grew up with my grandfather in the Republic of Congo, it's the time when I was 8 years. My grandfather was a chemist and herbal doctor who had influenced me at a very young age, as I appreciated his passion for his work. Later, I would carry on his vision to help others, and he has made me to follow the course of chemistry and biology, and I've got my diploma to someday help the community into health. And that day came in 2016 when I and my young sister came in Uganda and became a refugee. And suddenly my young sister became very ill with malaria. And as I was watching this terrible disease and its effect, I decided to help to create a malaria-free Africa. Did you know that after every 2 minutes, a child dies of malaria worldwide? In Uganda, over 229 million cases of malaria is registered annually. and 411,000 malaria deaths were reported from May 2020 by the Ministry of Health Uganda. The overall statistic, the sub-Saharan countries is the most affected of malaria. This is due to lack of accessibility to repellent products and also less treatment, most especially to vulnerable communities. Now, our solution as Botanica, we have launched a natural mosquito repellent product that helps to fight the spread of malaria. And we are committed to create a malaria-free Africa. But then Botanica has also developed a model where we also give employment to create local jobs for refugees women who act into our production and also selling. And our purposely, we have also creating some collaboration with some trusted partners where we have been able to integrate them into our value chain. Botanica has got different opportunities. Our currently total available market is over 10 billion USD, and our serviceable available market is 58 million USD, and our sum is now currently 10,000 US dollars. And we have got as well some competitors. These are mosquito nets providers or suppliers, and also other chemical mosquito repellent providers. However, our uniqueness on Botanica is a handmade mosquito repellent product made out of locally produced ingredients, and it's easily accessible and cheap to our users. So as I said before, Botanica offers a 6 hours repellent protection from this product is made out of different ingredients, and as well providing some local job opportunities to women. So currently our go-to-market, we use the channels such as physical delivery, door-to-door, and also we as well, our long-term plan is to leverage the online retail channels. This is our financial snapshot. This has been the projections from 2021. We have raised a revenue of 1,953 USD, and we have got winning different awards and also competitions. We've been also part of the Because Acceleration Program 2021. We also participated in the Social Innovation Academy Acceleration Program. For the moment, Botanica has 3 committed staff team. I, who's the founder and the production lead, also contributing to marketing as well. We have Bonane Mariam, she also is our sales personnel and the human resource lead. And we also have our finance and record keeper by the name of Kisekedi. So Botanica has improved to collaborate with women. These are single mothers who have been part of our team, who are acting currently as the sales and marketing team. And Botanica has contracted with them to market and also creating awareness into the local communities of refugees in Akivale. So Botanica has now, as I said, 8 full-time employees. We have over 200 customers. These are users who have used our products. We have collaborated with clinics, different clinics who are now supplying our products. We also have been exhibiting to different stakeholders such as UNHCR, WFP, USAID, UNICEF, and these are the people who have been part of our exhibition events. And then Botanica, currently we are looking at increasing our sales personnel, and our ask today is for 1,000 USD. This money will be used to create marketing collateral for awareness and education campaigns for malaria awareness. And we also love to increase the sales personnel as to increase our revenue so that we can expand our market and reach more users and more to reach out of the like our mission actually is to penetrate in the East African market. However, we are starting in Uganda, and we want to tackle the side, the eastern of Uganda and the west, so that we might grow our market first of all in Uganda. So thank you very much for your attention. I believe together we can create a malaria-free Africa by supporting the local initiative Botanica. Thank you very much. For any question, it's highly welcome.
Thank you so much. Judges, you have 5 minutes.
I'll start. Pasian, what would you say are some of your biggest challenges or barriers? What is it, if you could identify something that's kept you or keeping you currently from taking over the market and increasing sales dramatically? What is it what's your biggest challenge right now?
Our biggest challenges, since we have introduced the new team that has been now 1 month operating with us, so we think this has been, from the observation and experience, this has been a great strategy for the local marketing. And then we'd love to increase on these personnel who are now in the field to increase our revenue, because now we have doubled our production as we used to do before introducing that team. So I think having more of them, so we shall employ more, and also we are going to increase more production and revenue as well. Yeah.
Ashian, I'm as we're all learning, I'm kind of a products guy, so I want to talk about your product, about the solution. Tell me a little bit about like the typical way your customer would use the product. Is it typically daytime use? Is it nighttime? Are they at the beginning of the day they're putting the lotion on themselves or their kids, and then it protects them all day? Are they using it primarily for nighttime use when they're most susceptible? Tell me about that.
Thank you very much, Andrew, for the good question. Actually, the Botanica value proposition, this is a skin moisturizer and mosquito repellent cream. So we have 2 types of our users. Some of our users, such as families, use them as a cream to moisturize the skin of the kids, so they can smear it after bathing at any time for the maintenance of the skin. However, our target beneficiaries uses mosquito as a mosquito repellent from 7 p.m. because that's when the mosquito repellent, the mosquitoes start breeding and entering into houses and start going where people are. So you can smear and you have protection from mosquito bites. So, but then these are the 2 values that our product is used for.
Congratulations on hiring 8 employees. In prioritizing, it sounds like refugees and women. Can you talk about the training that you provide and how you recruit some of your new employees as you grow?
Thank you very much, Kelsey. As far as Botanica is concerned, our mission is to create also job opportunities to these women. And our first criteria mostly is to look of a single mother who has kids below the age of 5. And our mission is to provide for them this kind of job so that they can also sustain their families. However, we also consider languages, because here in Nakivale or refugee communities, they have more than 8 nationalities speaking different languages. So we tackle also the mothers or the people who can be able to speak all these different languages for easy sales. So these are some of the criteria we consider. And also we also give them training, like marketing trainings. How can you attract the customer to buy your product since you are in the field? So we also give them such kind of trainings. We as well train them on how they can also easily integrate, or how they can be able to explain what the product does as well. These are kind of the trainings we do. And also for the event we do, actually, we also create some malaria awareness campaigns where we invite families within the different communities. Then we educate them about how to prevent malaria. So these are kind of the trainings we also conduct in Botanica's activity. Thank you very much.
We have time for one more question if one of the judges has another follow-up.
All right, I'll take the last one again. Pashan, any idea of your impact? Any idea of, I mean, I probably at least know how many customers, how many families. From there, it's hard to project exactly things like how many people you've saved from being sick potentially. But I just wonder if you have any Any idea of impact?
The impact?
Yeah.
Well, as I said, currently we have been into different acceleration programs. I think these have built as the capacity building, as I mentioned, because international has been one of the best acceleration that has boosted our minds to keep the Botanica grow. And since there, we have been also eligible to win different awards, such as Social Impact Awards. We have been also eligible to win Sun Family Grant. So these are some of the achievements we have done throughout Botanica. And also we are looking forward to collaborating further to, actually we are also setting up something together with the UNICEF, how best they would be buying a bulk to provide to these refugee kids. So these are some of the impact we have achieved so far. And then yeah, so we are very happy actually. We have also increased the number of consumers monthly on the monthly basis. In the previous month there were 200. Then now we have upgraded up to 350 consumers. I think these are some of the impact we have raised so far in this time of period.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Botanica. So Dapatronics, we're gonna send it over to you. So please share your screen. And then give the judges just a few minutes before we begin.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. My name is Tendekai Katsiga. I'm from a company called Devtronics. According to the World Health Organization, there are 200 million people with a hearing impairment in Africa. Yet, the current provision of hearing aids is less than 1 million per annum. Hearing aids came to Africa through non-governmental organization, but a new problem emerged. 70% of the hearing aids that were distributed in Africa were only used for a month due to the problem that the batteries were not available and the batteries are expensive. You can't find hearing aid batteries in rural Africa. People would rather buy bread than buy hearing aid batteries. A hearing aid battery, a non-rechargeable one, costs $1 and it lasts for a week. The price of a hearing aid starts at $1,000 to $10,000. However, there's an African proverb which says, the sun does not forget a village just because it is too small. We harnessed the power of the sun and recruited hearing impaired students from Ramoswa School of the Deaf and developed what we call a solar powered hearing aid. A solar powered hearing aid charges your hearing aid batteries 3 at once. One battery lasts for a week. And the lifespan is 3 years. We've managed to sell 30,000 units in sub-Saharan Africa, and we've managed to send 3,000 children to school with solar powered hearing aids. The whole complete package costs $100. It consists of a solar charger and 3 rechargeable batteries and a hearing aid. Our products enable children to develop speech and listening skills. We believe that only through education, we can break the cycle of poverty. Our competition comprises of big companies, that is Widex, Otcon, Phonak, Unitron, Siemens. Ours is called Solar Ear. It comes with a complete charger and 4 rechargeable batteries and a hearing aid. In Africa, we've got a huge challenge of professions. One audiologist in Africa serves 2 to 6 million people, whereas compared to developed countries, one audiologist serves up to 20,000 people. So the extreme shortage of health specialists means that most of impairments go undetected. For example, a traditional hearing screening costs $50, which is beyond most of the people who reside in Africa. We developed a mobile application which is called MDRIT, which is a tried and tested healthcare program that looks to break down these barriers too by taking a holistic approach to solving the challenges posed. So our hearing screening mobile application costs $1 for you to get a hearing test, whereas compared to $50. And most of the audiologists, they reside in cities. Ours, it's mobile. You can conduct any hearing test at any place and get instant results. We've managed to scale into digital health. Our mobile application has been piloted in Uganda, Zimbabwe, Tanzania, and Botswana. We've managed to test 25,000 people during our pilot project. Our ask for growth, we are seeking $1,000. We're going to use this grant to provide free hearing tests for 1,000 children starting at the age of 3 to 6 years. We're also going to train health workers in conducting hearing tests using the mobile devices. And also we're going to use this money for training materials. Our team comprises of Ms. Sarah Piri and Idwililani. They are both directors, and all of them, they are hearing impaired. And it also has got international and local advisors from different sectors of the industry. My fellow visionaries, let's look at a bigger picture here. There are 200 million people with a hearing impairment, yet the current provision of hearing aids is less than 1 million per annum in Africa. At this moment, I invite you to work with us in this journey where we make Africa hear again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, judges, and I now turn it over to you.
I'll start this time. Thank you for sharing that presentation. Can you talk a little bit about who your partners are that help you to get the word out about the product and facilitate the testing? Are you partnering with doctors, audiologists, schools, communities? What does that look like?
Okay, what we did was we were nominated by UNICEF to do a program where they show children in terms of assistive devices. So they shot a video for us using our products and the impact. So the word really spread in so many countries because of UNICEF. And we also won last 2019, we also won Johnson & Johnson Prize for Africa, where we managed to conduct the pilot project. And also we work with ministries of health, mostly in Southern Africa, because we've got this organ called SADC. It has got same protocols, so it's easier for us to scale into these Southern African countries.
As you talked in your presentation about training healthcare workers, what does that look like? And is there some sort of certification process, or is it how easy is it to get into the health sector and work with doctors, hospitals, audiologists?
Okay, mostly the health workers are women. Most of them, they didn't really go as further as high school. What they basically do is they're like foot soldiers. We train them on how to use our mobile application just to conduct hearing tests, mostly in villages. So it's an in-house training. We are in the process of liaising with the Botswana Standard Association, where they can offer us certificates, especially certificates of certificates of training.
What are your biggest challenges, or what do you need in order to get your hearing aids to all the kids, all the people that need them? It seems like a great product. I have questions about your price point. We only have so much time right now, but what are your biggest obstacles, challenges? What do you need in order to rapidly grow and expand, get this out?
Our biggest challenges at the moment is our distributors. We don't have distributors, especially in East and West Africa. And also, if you look at it, the other issue is audiologists. Most of the ratio in Africa, the audiologists are very few. So even if you go to another country, you have to find audiologists, and you find that really they are very, very few. So hence, that's why we haven't really managed to scale into other African countries. And the other issue is that Africa, in other countries, there are a lot of restrictive measures when you want to bring in products in those countries. These are some of the challenges which we are facing at the moment. And
Tendakai, are you one of the founders Did you start this, or what's the story for how this began? Is there a personal story involved?
Yes, I was working with the directors, Sarah Piri and Dwililani, for some time in an NGO, but we realized that really when we were working with them, because they're hearing impaired, we couldn't hear. So hence we started developing this solar powered hearing aids. So most of the input came out from hearing impaired students at that time.
We have time for one more.
I'm also part of the founders. I'm part of the I'm the director. We co-founded this Devtronics with Sarah Piri.
Thank you. We have one more question. The judges want to take it.
Can I ask one question, Bora?
Yeah.
Sindikai, did you, and maybe I missed it, how much revenue or sales have you made till date?
Well, up to date, we've made 30,000.
US dollar?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So, Tendake, if you can stop sharing your screen. Judges, give you a few minutes, but I know that the judges will be going to another room to deliberate, and then in 15 minutes, they will be back to announce who's the winner. So judges, good luck.
Judges, you may have received an email from me, so I'm waiting in the other room.
Yes, Andrew, you have a question? Oh, I just see the high five question. So again, thank you so much to all our 5 finalists. Everyone's organization is amazing and inspiring. But before we go in and hear more from our past finalists, I would like to introduce Emily, who's with Because International. She is one of our sponsors, and without Because International, this event cannot be possible. So Emily, I will now turn it over to you, and I'll start sharing my screen so you can share yours.
Thank you so much. It's great to be here. You all did such a fantastic job. I'm so impressed. This is why we do this competition every year. You inspire me, you inspire the work that we do. So great job, really, across the board. I'm so impressed. Now I'm going to try and share my screen. You guys are experts at this. I feel like this is the hardest part of presenting and sharing a screen. So I assume that you can see.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So I want to just start by sharing something that we say at our nonprofit. We believe everyone has an opportunity to succeed. So after inventing our own products that fight poverty, we've developed an accelerator that supports entrepreneurs in developing countries that have their own products and ideas and businesses that are providing jobs and alleviating poverty. Our story began years ago when our founder lived and worked at an orphanage in Kenya. He noticed the kids' shoes were falling apart, or if they lasted longer than a few months, they were literally cutting the ends off so their toes could stick out as their feet grew. He was struck with an idea for an ultra-durable shoe that could adjust and expand with the child's growing feet, providing an innovative and long-lasting solution to the effects of shoelessness around the world. Over the past 5 years, we've scaled up and distributed more than 350,000 pairs to over 100 countries. And our sustainable revenue model has generated over $5 million in sales. The mission of our nonprofit is poverty alleviation. And during our journey, we realized that not only can we address a symptom of poverty with our footwear, but a root cause of poverty being that lack of jobs and steady income. So in an effort to create jobs in countries impacted by poverty, we moved all of our production to Kenya and are now producing all of our shoes there. As we worked at the challenges we faced getting production and distribution going in countries like Ethiopia and Kenya, we started talking to and connecting with other entrepreneurs in local areas who'd heard our stories. They face many of the same challenges, including product development, scaling production, distribution and e-commerce, shipping and logistics, and access to international markets. We've learned some lessons the hard way, but we've also had the network and support needed to succeed. Many of the entrepreneurs we met don't have the same opportunities, so we began informally mentoring some of them and helping wherever we could. Eventually, it became clear to us that we could amplify our impact of poverty alleviation and job creation by more formally supporting many more entrepreneurs in the years to come. and the accelerator was born. Our program combines training, coaching, networking, and funding to help entrepreneurs address common challenges to scaling product-based social enterprises in developing countries. We run a spring and a fall cohort each year consisting of 15 entrepreneurs and lasting for 10 weeks. A successful experience in our program includes entrepreneurs attending weekly trainings, weekly meetings with a coach specifically matched based on the needs of the entrepreneur, setting and achieving a 10-week goal, developing and refining a pitch, and competing in a pitch competition for cash prizes. But most valuable, establishing a long-term support network that's there for you in the years to come. Given our goal of reducing poverty through innovative products and the creation of jobs, the filter we use to select entrepreneurs for our program includes early to middle stage companies in countries impacted by poverty with physical manufactured products and a social impact focus who are ready to scale and create jobs in their communities. Our work over the past 3 years has produced some initial results. 59 entrepreneurs have successfully exited our program. We've developed a network of more than 60 volunteers helping us to coach and support entrepreneurs through networking and training. We've partnered with multiple entrepreneurs to begin selling their products here in the US. And we facilitated over $250,000 in debt and equity financing for our entrepreneurs. In addition, last year alone, we gave more than $80,000 in grant funding. And this year, we are positioned to make it our best year yet. We want to thank Impactionable for all the work they've done in the social impact space and with partnering with us to make this event happen. We also had such a great volunteer network that helped go through hundreds of applications and really narrow it down to you five who've done such a fantastic job. From this competition, we'll be awarding not only a cash prize, but also a spot in our spring cohort. If you know someone who has a socially innovative product, or if you have some expertise that you could share, we would love to be in contact with you. You can reach out to me at my email address here, or you can look us up at becauseinternational.org, and I'll put those in the chat as well. So again, thank you so much to all of you. You were all just such a wonderful job.
Thank you so much, Emily. I really appreciate it. And again, round of applause. Yes, without your support and your partnership, events like this could not be possible. So I will share my screen. Sharing your screen is the hardest part. Making sure you're sharing. So I'll share my screen, and I just want to showcase some of our past finalists.
Hi everyone, my name is Neha and I'm one of the co-founders of EduCase. EduCase is a bag that unfolds into a smooth desk surface for children who study in marginalized communities who do not have any classroom furniture. It can be used at home and at school and is very lightweight, durable, weather-resistant, portable, and strong. We entered the social innovation competition with our product, the EduCase, and it was a great experience for us. We got to network with other entrepreneurs, got to get feedback on our presentations and our pitches, and then competed in the final round where we were actually awarded a good sum of money to help us with our business, and also a chance to be part of the Because International Accelerator program, which was hugely beneficial for us, in connecting us to a mentor, giving us some extra resources and knowledge, and providing us with a great network of other entrepreneurs around the world. The Impactionable competition was an amazing experience, and we highly recommend it to anyone who's interested.
So this was our one of our winners from a competition that we did like last year. It's been 2 years. Years fly. This is EduCase.
Hi, my name is Joe Joshua. I'm the CEO of Jopika, and I am from Nigeria. Jopika is an organization that is solving the world's water crisis through innovation and technology. Manufactured a technological device which is used to carry out groundwater surveillance. Impaction is an organization which is helping young startups like us to secure funding and also receive business training. We participated in Impaction in 2021 and were one of the finalists. We received training and also we received funding. And we qualified for the Pursuit Incubator, which was made possible by Impaction. Therefore, we are asking young startups and founders out there to join Impactionable and to also participate in the Impaction Innovation Challenge. Thank you.
So this is just a showcase of some great winners that we had in the past, and then going to the Because International and what the skills and the resources that the Accelerator program that they got to be equipped with. So we are, I'll stop sharing my screen. And then now, I kind of just want to open it up to if there's some people in the audience, as something new that we're trying to do. I know that it's very something different, but if anyone in the audience has an organization that they're working on or a startup and wants to give a 5-minute pitch, so does anyone in the audience want to participate in this? All you have to do is just ping, and then I will let you come in, and then just give that little pitch competition and kind of on stage. Give it up to anyone if anyone wants to do that. I know it's a little shy. So no, I was gonna, unless I'm gonna just start inviting people who want to come on. Or we can also hear Teresa from HP if she wants to talk about her experience. So Teresa, I'm gonna move you to a panelist if you accept.
Hi, my name is Christina. I'm with HP. I'm an account manager for the small medium business group in the commercial sales team. So anytime you go on to the store.hp.com, I support some of the small businesses that we have as repeat customers that come through to purchase items for their businesses.
Christina, and you were part of the journey through the judging and everything, correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little about your experience, what you thought, and also any feedback you have for the 5 finalists?
I think all 5 of you guys did absolutely amazing. I know it's so hard to have to pitch to people that you're not really familiar with and to have to explain what it is that you're doing. So I just want to say congratulations to all 5 of you. You were all absolutely amazing. And I wish that we could give money to all 5 of you because you guys were all just absolutely amazing. And it was such an honor to be a part of this whole process. And I want to thank Teresa as well as Impactionable and Because for allowing us to be a part of this.
Thank you so much, Christina. And Shivani's back. Are y'all?
Hi, everyone. How are we doing?
Good. Are the judges? Judges are back.
Judges are back.
The moment that everyone has been waiting for. Okay. So Andrew, take it away.
Sure. Well, all 5 of you did such a fantastic job. Seriously, mean that. Again, love what you're doing, inspired by what you're doing, and encourage you all to keep going and let us know the various ways that we can stay in touch and be involved and help. So after talking about this, we all threw out our ideas on each of you, as well as talked about our kind of top choices, those that stood out. And there was a clear name that was coming up as each of us spoke. And that winner is Deftronics. Great job. For us, there was a very clear need, a problem that matters, that is urgent, that is easy to understand, and your solution as well. There's a lot of technicality involved in it, but it's easy to understand and to digest. You were clear with the impact of the prize, what this would be going toward. Obviously, you're making a big difference in people's lives, and children in particular. So again, congratulations, and that's not to say anything less for the rest of you. It really was a difficult choice. You all did so well. And Deftronics, again, congratulations. Look forward to working with you in the Because Accelerator, and also hopefully talking to a few other of you entrepreneurs and staying in touch. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Andrew. And congratulations, Devtronics. I want to open it up to you. You can say a few words.
Well, I think first of all, I just want to thank the participants. And also, I also want to thank you, Social Innovation Competition, for hosting such a precious platform, really. For me, I feel like, I think it's also, for me, although it was a competition, but it's also, it brings access to new people, access to new ways of thinking, especially when it comes to solving global challenges of our time. And I also want to thank the feedback from the judges. And also I want to thank the Project Go is amazing. All the projects were amazing. I hope we'll get in touch. And also I hope this is just the beginning, and we need to change this world. We need to make it a better place. And also my heart goes out to the people in Ukraine. I hope really at this moment they will find peace and comfort, in these trying times. Thank you so much. I'm really humbled, and I'm excited at the same time.
Thank you so much. We are so honored. Congratulations again. So this was just a great group of finalists. Each one of you were amazing. Each one of your products are just so inspiring to more entrepreneurs, more individuals. So thank you so much for sharing this with us and being part of this community. We're excited for your journey, Devtronics. We can't wait to see how you grow, what comes out of this. And to everyone, thank you to our judges for being part of this. And of course, thank you to our partner, Because International. Again, with your support, this event would not be possible. So thank you. Please do sign up and stay connected with Impactionable. Because International will send a follow-up email and a survey after our program tonight. So we're going to have more competitions coming up in the spring. Shivani has posted on the chat our Impactionable sign up for our newsletter. Stay connected with us, and we look forward to seeing you all soon and hearing more about amazing work that each of you are doing. So we'll definitely keep in contact, and we'll be sharing your work through our social medias in the upcoming weeks, months. So congratulations to everyone again.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of course, thank you. Congrats to all. We can't wait.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.